guys, the Gamer Untamed. I'm back from holidaying, which is fantastic. I'm super excited to be back. Videos are going to continue as per usual, so like once or twice a week. So one or two videos a week, so that's awesome. So continuing with the theme of Guild Wars 2, the next episode for the races is going to be the Asura. So, the Asura are a diminutive race of artisans. They're very technology based, they love working with science, and they're very good engineers as well. They may be small, they are very small, just like little dwarfs or little elves, but they are incredibly strong people. Let's talk about their character creation now. There are 3 racial questions which will be asked as a part of the biography part of Guild Wars 2. And those questions are, so I have to read off this because I can't remember them off my head. Which Asuran college they studied at, what was their first successful experiment, like their first invention, and who their first advisor was. So those are pretty interesting questions, very different from the char, and I also forgot with the char about the history. I'm really sorry I didn't do the history for the char, but I will do the history for the Asura, and please comment if you want me to do the history of the char separate or something, or within another video, because I can totally do that. So the character creation as well, you've obviously still got the whole base of customizing your appearance, customizing your name and stuff, also choosing the personality questions and the specific profession questions. So now I'm going to be talking about the physiology, and the physiology is, of course, the body and the whole difference in that. So the only race that I won't be talking about physiology with is humans, because humans' physiology exactly the same as our own. Okay, by human standards, the Asura are very small people. They are very short and usually about 4 feet of height. So, like Snooki, really. Sort of like Snooki. That bad height. They have slender bodies, except their hands and feet and head are very disproportionate. Like, they're really big. Their head, hands, and feet are extremely large. It's almost like it's a Bratz doll. Like, the Bratz dolls have big heads. I mean, they don't have big feet and big hands, but they have big heads, and that's sort of like what the Asura sort of look like. They sort of look like a Bratz doll in a way, aside from having the feet and hands also proportioned largely. The Asura's eyes are really big, like extremely big, almost like anime eyes, and they come in a variety of different colours. Not just your casual blue, brown and green, for example. They'll come perhaps purple even. Their mouths are also filled with tiny little pointy sharp teeth that can really gnash at whatever they decide to perhaps like bite, or it's really easy to eat with their sharp teeth. The only difference between a female and a male Asura is that of their ear structure. So perhaps, for example, the females, the ear structure is quite high, whereas the male ear structure is it's sort of lower. So there is a slight difference in that. The other thing about their physiology is that they live 5 to 10% longer than humans do, which is I would love personally to live a little longer, but that also means that they see more death than humans do, which is also quite sad. Now I'm going to talk to you about right now the culture and religion of the Asura. Now the Asura prefer to value your intelligence and intellect over all other attributes. Most Asura dedicate most of their lives to slowly building up a portfolio of different inventions and experiments they've undertaken, depending on if they're like a scientist or an engineer or an inventor. So it's completely different for each Asura, but they generally build up a portfolio for a certain aspect of a job profession that they do. The Asura have always been quite arrogant little snobby characters, even towards each other as a matter of fact, but mainly towards non-humans. Mainly towards, to be honest, non-humans. They quite value the humans as to a point, but they don't think they're very intelligent. So the Asura, if you think about it, like Zoja, she's very sort of arrogant and very, I'm the best at everything, I know this, I know that. That's sort of like the Asura. They're like Zoja, they're all very uppity but very arrogant and up themselves, very snob, you know. They do value the humans to a point. They value the humans for the fact that they're quite heavy lifting and they like to take risks, but they ask stupid questions. But the good thing about that is that the Asura know that the humans aren't going to overtake them, which is a factoring point in why they appreciate the value of the humans. The most important and valued contribution from the Asura to Tyrian society, Tyria is the land, of course, is the Asura Gate, which links all the major cities to each other so you can easily transport from one city to another. Most cities do have this, but not all cities actually do. The Asura are also very family oriented. They value their elders and look up to them with wisdom and respect because it's their elders. They've been around much longer than they have, and they have a lot more knowledge than they do and would prefer for the knowledge to be passed on to them, of course. But they're very family-oriented people, which I think is lovely compared to a lot of us humans who probably aren't that family-oriented anymore. I think we should actually be more like the Asura in a way, because if you think about it, like, they're so family-based. I mean, family comes first, and a lot of us humans, we're like, oh, psh, whatever, it's fine. But seriously, I mean, if you think about it, come on, it's family. As far as religion goes for the Asura, they believe in the eternal alchemy, which is that all magic and humans, not all magic and humans, but all magic and self-beings are for a greater purpose, so they're all destined for a greater being. To abide by this, the Asura will join one of the 3 major colleges to, not two, but that's dedicated to that specific knowledge and research. So there's this College of Statistics, and that's all I know off my head. But there are 3 major colleges dedicated to each of this eternal alchemy stuff. So they don't really believe in any religion, no gods or anything. They believe in technology and science and education, which I don't think is a totally bad idea, but I think that they need something greater than them that they can look up to and talk about and admire and also worship in a way. I think that's why we have, in real life, we have God and we have Jesus, we have church, because some of us, we need that self-reliance that someone can always forgive us, not just maybe someone we've hurt that won't, but that we can find at least someone that will forgive us. I think that's a nice idea. I mean, I'm not fully like praise to the church, whatever. I'm not really like that, but I think a lot of people are like that, and it's good that we have that. But the Asuran don't, and maybe that's why they're sort of arrogant people in a way, because they don't have that other self-reliance. Alrighty, government and history. Now this is actually quite a short part, so these videos aren't actually that long. Anyway, okay. Government. The Asura, rather than have a designated government council, or a hierarchy, they have a special elite group of task forces. That's the one where the most experienced of the force will take the lead of that specific force. I just said force too many times in that sentence and it didn't work at all. Oh my gosh. The Asura, aside from those task forces, also have a council called the Arcane Council that deal with very mundane and ordinary basic actions. Yeah. They deal with very mundane basic actions to keep the city of where they grew up still running. So that's kind of boring, but it's very important, because if they didn't have that council, those little things that we don't really take into account wouldn't be there, and we do need those little things apart. When we do need a city, we need that to keep running. So that council is extremely important. Another factor about that council is that the membership of that council keep rotating, so eventually everybody's going to get a go at being and doing the boring stuff. I think that's a pretty good idea, that everyone gets a turn and no one sticks there who doesn't really want to be there. It's like, oh, let me out. But then it's like, oh, yay, you get it now. Stuff you. Okay, now, the Asuran care little for their history, because most of them are inventors and builders, and they don't really want to keep track of the history, because they're not that kind of people. They're not, like, literary based. No. But, they would rather look into the future than look at what's already happened, because it's already happened, not new ideas, not new events, and what's the point of looking behind, I suppose. But I do think it's a little weird that they don't really want to learn about stuff that they don't have anymore. It's stuff that's been probably wiped right off the market because no one uses it, but it would still be interesting. I mean, it's vintage. They're interested in science and inventing. Why not look at something old and perhaps turn it into something new? I mean, get an idea from something old. Okay, the only thing they have kept track of, though, as far as Asuran history, is the number of Asuran gates that are added to the network. So there has been a huge increase in Asuran gates over the years, which is great. It's great because it's a fantastic invention by the Asura, and it's a great accomplishment. But that's the only sort of thing they keep track of, like inventions and stuff like that, because it's not a huge thing. I mean, like, no culture, really. Kids kept track of history, like, from back before then. They keep talking Italian. It's pissing me off because they won't shut up. But, I thought it would be interesting to learn about the Asuran history. And, to be honest, I get this much of it. That much of notes about Asuran history, and I can't comment on a lot of it because there isn't any. So that's, I thought, was quite odd and interesting. But, yeah, that's the Asuran history for you. So that is the Asura. I said that's the Asuran history, and that's the Asura. This was a quite short video, I believe, by looking at the points down here. But the next video is going to be dun, 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 the humans, and there is actually quite a lot to say about humans. Surprisingly, I mean, usually the most boring race is the most interesting, I think, here. At the moment so far. After this, I'm going to do the Silvari. So that's awesome. But since I have this now, I'm going to install it, like, immediately and play it right now, because I'm going to cry if I don't play this now. So, bye. No, I hope you're having a fantastic day. I hope you're doing well, and, yeah, please like this video, please comment below, and if you want to do a video response to this, go for it. Also, please subscribe to my video, that would be my channel, that would be fantastic, and have a great day, guys. Bye!